The YouTube thumbnail game is on, and I'm your host CGR, back with another episode. Today's topic is how do I make a thumbnail from scratch? My 6-step process that I go through to make each and every thumbnail that performs. So, step 1 is idea, step 2 is inspiration, step 3 is finding pictures, step 4 is generating pictures, step 5 is the text, step 6 is bringing it all together, and step 7 is the special last step that I love and I will reveal only at the last. So let's get through all the steps and tell you my process. Step 1 is idea. So I try to understand what is being communicated, what is the promise that is being made, what is the story around the thumbnail, what is the point that we want to communicate, what is the intrigue point that we want to catch attention from, what can be the attention grabbing, or what can be the clickbait, if you will, or what will be the hook. There are many synonyms, but all mean that we have to elicit an emotion and stop this scroll for the viewer to see the thumbnail and then only watch the video. So to understand what is being communicated from the title and the script, what points you can go through and what angles you can come up with for the thumbnail. For example, let's say the title is The Tragic Life of X, whatever the person is. Then you have to read the script and understand the life of that person and come up with angles you can play with, and then exaggerate the angles in bit context, but it needs to have some element of truth always. If you just do a normal clickbait without any element of truth, the CTR may go very high, but the views always suffer. So first is idea generation, and all of these points I will expand in the future episodes. Each and every single point can have another episode and another podcast of itself, I guess. So yeah, I will do that. Number 2 is inspiration. So how is an idea generated? There is no one single step, no single direction of the steps, or no single chronology of the steps. It's just everything kind of goes through in a coherent manner. So number 2 is inspiration. After the idea, you need basic understanding. If I can replace the word idea with another word, it will be understanding. After you have a basic understanding of what is going on in the story, in the promise, in the script, and what is being communicated directly through the title, then we come to find the inspiration of other videos that have already worked in the past. Just like we find inspiration for ads that have already worked, the copywritings that have already worked, we find the thumbnails that have already performed, what types of images they are showing, what kind of text they are using. You can even use a similar text. You can even use the same text. You can use even same or similar images. You can take those images and generate such kind or even better images in mid-journey. So inspiration is really after an idea or before you need to find a thumbnail on that around the topic that is working. How would you do that? How to pick that if the thumbnail is working? First of all, if it has millions of views, probably it's working. But another thing is the views to subscriber ratio. So if a video has views but the channel does not have enough, if the video has views, number of views more than the number of its subscribers, it's a very high indicator that the thumbnail is working, and the title though is working. After that, the video is also working. Okay, because you don't know what works, what people like. Yes, you can test it. Why do we need inspiration? Because you can test it, but if something has already worked, it's very, very high likely if you model it correctly, it will work again. So you don't have to do everything from scratch. Slowly, this you will get. I feel that people will build pattern recognition inside their own brain, and after that they can, think what is gonna work, what can work, and then they are able to make better decisions. Also, to find inspiration on YouTube, often use underscores like inside someone's life, like tragic life of, then you put underscore 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 underscore. It will give all the tragic life of whatever the name is, doesn't matter, life of the person for which the thumbnails have already performed, for which the videos have already performed. Now, next point, finding pictures. This point and other points in the episode can have episodes of themselves, especially this point, because finding pictures is so important. Finding the right pictures is so important, and browsing the web, you will think that it must be a normal skill, or it must be a very cliche or something not so important. But especially in the YouTube thumbnail game, it's so important. It's very, very important to find the right pictures. Being able to find the right picture is so important. So how do you do that? First is the mindset. Most of the time, almost always, the picture that you're looking for, or the picture that will give you the views, already exist. You may think that it does not exist, but it does exist. So first is the belief that yes, it does exist. You may not be trying the right search engine, maybe you may not be trying the right way to find a picture, you may not be trying the best keywords, best related images, best similar images to go and find your picture, but it does exist. It always exists. So it's first is the belief that it does exist. Second is the tools. So Google many times does not indexes the many images and many things. So you need to use other browsers like Bing, DuckDuckGo. Yandex is a Russian browser that is really good, and the quality of the pictures is also very higher. Bing is better for finding facial pictures of person. Pictures is like the related images are so very good of Bing that I totally love it. Also, if you do find a picture and you want to get similar images, put it everywhere on the Google Lens, Yandex Lens, Bing Lens. DuckDuckGo doesn't have its own lens, but sometimes when I am not able to find on Bing, Yandex, and Google, then I have often searched on DuckDuckGo, and I have discovered images that were so good. Okay, so that was finding pictures. Now it's generating images. Midjourney is the best. Firefly, yes. If you need more realistic images, sometimes you can create things, extraordinary things in Firefly. And of course, nowadays there isn't a project where I have not used Firefly. Firefly is so integral part. It's one of the most used tools today in my process. Definitely, yeah. So Midjourney generation is so simple, yet it's a very, very important and a great skill to have. I feel daily I'm able to generate better and better thumbnail, better images. It's never that you cannot generate something. Most of the time you can generate something. It's just a skill issue. It's just a skill gap that you have. The keywords you're not using properly. The Midjourney's style reference, Midjourney's character reference, stylize, all those things matter, and those are the things most of the time that are limiting you, rather than the power of the AI and the power of Mid-Journey that's stopping the. It's again that comes to the same point. It's belief. It is like, it's not also the belief thing. It's like, yeah, it is a kind of belief, but just do it 100 times. It will happen. And keep learning. Ask. I will tell you most basic in the next coming episodes how many things that I used in Mid-Journey. What is style raw? What is stylized 0, stylized 200, stylized 100, CDF, RF, CW, all those things. I'm going to tell you whatever I know. I hope there are many much more exists, and which I also want to learn slowly. And also you can use to / define to. It is really good. / describe. Just put in the images and Midjourney will describe many things on its own, and then you can use them to build and generate images much better. It works many times. So most of the time it's just a skill issue, and also using the correct images. The right images will give you the right. Also, very important pro tip, ChatGPT. ChatGPT is so important in this, like generating images with Midjourney. You will not expect it, but yes, you can ask ChatGPT to define things, how you should ask another AI to generate those images. So that is really cool. Also, ChatGPT 4 knows about Midjourney, so it's helpful, although it does not write prompts properly like it, at least at the present time of I am recording and I have tested. It like writes vague and too descriptive text and prompts. It's not proper yet, but ask it how will that angle. It define it to ChatGPT, and then it will tell you what to put it in Midjourney, so that two works very well together. Also use ChatGPT 4. Yes, another yes. DALL-E from ChatGPT 4 is so good, especially not in the very, very realistic niches, but many niches like history, navy, I've used military. That is so, like, it's so excellent. Thumbnails, also you can chat with ChatGPT and refine the generations even more, although many times the first generations are so good if you define it, and after that it gets degraded most of the time. But yes, I've made such good generations with DALL-E after it got integrated with ChatGPT that I cannot express it. I will show you later on. So that was, we have done idea, we have the idea, we took inspiration, we found the pictures, we generated the images, and now another thing that we need is the fifth one, the text. What to write that it will complement and add to the images we have generated, add to the pictures we have already put together, the text that will complement it and initiate and provoke the view, even make the convincing point even more stronger, that the person needs to watch the video, the right person needs to watch that video. I've already had a episode on this. I would say it again. Write simple words that complement our picture. Make a promise of why the person needs to watch this video right now. After 5 steps, you would think that it's all over. But no. There is a 6th step and there is a 7th. The 6th step is bringing all together in our dear, the best, the greatest Adobe Photoshop. The Photoshop that everyone knows. Bringing out it all together, putting everything together professionally in a coherent manner, so that it looks realistic, it looks good, placing the text at the right place and avoiding the right down corner, making the people as big as possible, making the text as big as possible. This can have a few another episodes of its own, like how things should be put together, how I put things to, like there can be a million ways to put things together, but I can share how I put things together, all together in Photoshop. Like, it will differ from thumbnail to thumbnail niches, but make the text as big as possible, make the person as big as possible, avoid the chest, just try to keep as much as face as possible. And last but not the least, I'm gonna reveal the last. It's called high pass. Since I have discovered it like 6 to 7 months, like I know it for years, but I wasn't actually using it that much. So first of all, I discovered it to make the images sharper. I think it was Pixinfo Imperfect that showed me high pass, and after that I'm just a fan. There isn't a thumbnail that I produce today which does not have high pass. It just cannot happen. High pass is so important. I put it a radius around 8 to 10, even 2 sometimes. Sometimes I do 2 high pass and put it all over to overlay or hard light, and the images quality just booms up. I love high pass, and you should apply it to your. You can try it if something that you would like. I love it. So this is all the steps that I go through. I will go in depth in each and every step, and let's create thumbnails together. Let's rock the world. Let's communicate these ideas. Let's make eye-catching. Let's communicate the great videos with a great thumbnail. So this was episode 12. I will come tomorrow again with episode 13. The idea. This was episode 13, brought to you by CGR Designs, hosted by CGR himself. Thank you.